Welcome to issue 188 of Critical Encounters, a podcast about Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Here, we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the encounter sets. We'll discuss those poorly understood characters, unfairly labeled villains, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet, as well as those so-called heroes intent on thwarting them. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel, and joining me tonight is Steve.
Hi, Daniel.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am delightful enough.
Oh, okay.
And speaking of delighted that he's here, Mike, how are you?
Hello. Yes, thank you.
Did Mike bring his own fan club? Because that's fantastic.
Yes.
We just discovered Discord soundboard.
Wow. Yes,
Hi,
the kids found a new toy, everybody, so sorry.
It'd be a crime not to use it.
It would.
Okay.
Nice.
That's my one
Anyways.
time. Okay.
Okay, yeah, we're done.
Okay. We're done. Yeah, we're done until the next time.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm doing great, Daniel. How are you?
Oh, good. I'm glad that you're doing great.
Yeah. But let's not dwell on me. Let's dwell on you, particularly
Me?
what's on your mind tonight, Daniel.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you. Steve, I'll tell you too, since you're here.
Oh, thanks.
We got an email from Down Under.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Just to preface this, I want to say to Mark, sorry that we got this email like 9 months ago and we're just getting to it now. But hey, we're getting to it.
Wow.
Well, sorry, Mark, but think of the extra time that gave us to come up with really good answers to your question.
Yeah.
So,
In
Mark
fact, I've already answered one.
yeah, I think you have. Hey, villains, says Mark. I've heard Mike tell me to email you enough times that I felt I needed to finally write in. See, all that pestering, Mike, pays off. I love listening to your podcast and always enjoy taking on the perspective of a villain and seeing the game through their eyes. Listening to your podcast often reinvigorates my interest in the game because I want to see Iron Man mowed down by some encounter card you highlight. That's right, Mark. Oh, I have a couple of questions for what's on Daniel's mind. Now, I think he means this segment, not just I'm answering this, right?
I think that's true. Yes.
Good. Now, question one. I think we should tackle these in turn, okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
I've heard each of you at different times in the Cardboard of the Rings backlog, so I know you're all big fans of the LOTR LCG 2. How would you compare the two? Do you prefer one over the other? And if so, why? How do you compare the two? I think there's a lot to compare.
Yeah. They are, obviously, they have a lot of similarities. I mean, they have the same developer, Caleb Grace, right?
Yep.
And there's a lot of similarities with encounter cards and boost cards versus shadow effects.
The card types of events and attachments and
treacheries
heroes
and things like that. Yep. But there's quite a bit of difference in the gameplay, right? Lord of the Rings, you are actively questing and then trying to defend against the bad guys in order to complete your quest. While in Marvel, it's the bad guy who's actively scheming and you're trying to stop him. So there's like sort of like a yin yang going on there, I think.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like your Lord of the Rings quest. You know, you're going on this quest and it culminates in some boss battle or something at the end. Whereas Marvel is like, this is the boss battle. This whole thing is the battle. Like that's all there is.
Yeah.
Right.
So in Marvel, the bad guys are the protagonists, and in Lord of the Rings, you are, right?
Yeah.
You're reacting in Lord of the Rings, but not quite in the same way that I think Marvel is a reactive game. They're both pretty mathy, right? And so I think it's easier to compare them mechanically than, say, if you put Arkham in the mix of this question.
Yeah, that's a completely different beast.
Yeah, where Arkham is just basically a narrative storytelling game that's got a neat, like the Chaos Bag is a neat concept, it's essentially the shadow cards or the boost cards of that game, but it's a lot deeper. So I think these two games are incredibly similar.
Yeah, I think it's been brought up before. Like theme is obviously a big difference, but more than the theme is how that theme gets woven into the mechanics. Like Caleb has said that when you're playing Marvel, you need to feel like a superhero, right? There's a reason why you can do 20 damage in a turn. There's a reason why you have Cyclops' eye beam that shoots through people. Lord of the Rings isn't like that. Like
No.
you have your big moments, but it's not. You don't feel
Right.
overpowered like that.
Yeah, you struggle a lot in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
in Lord of the Rings, you snatch victory from defeat.
Yes.
Right? And in Marvel, if you get beaten, you did something terribly wrong. So
there's also a difference in deck building, both the encounter deck and the hero deck. Right, Lord of the Rings, you have 3 heroes and multiple spheres. Marvel, it's 1 hero with 1 aspect, so it's a different style of deck building there. But you also get in Marvel, you have the whole point of the show, mix and match like crazy, homebrew, add this, don't play with this card, put in these modular sets. And Lord of the Rings does not have that. You could be tricked into thinking you do because there are different encounter sets, but there's no mixing and matching, right? It's you must use this set if the story and the mechanics are going to make any sense at all. I think with that one exception of the competitive version of the game where you can kind of build your own.
right.
That's a very niche, very one scenario kind of thing in Lord of the Rings. So that's another big difference. And because of that difference, I think I like Marvel better. Although
I have to agree with you.
Okay. My lore, like my first nerd love is Lord of the Rings though. Like theme wise, I love the Lord of the Rings, like more than Marvel. But like just gameplay and being able to sit down and play a game and not get the math and be able to deck build and stuff, I like Marvel better.
I totally agree with that.
It's certainly standing on the shoulders of giants, right? Because you had the Lord of the Rings, and then 5 years later, Arkham came on the scene. Maybe it was more than that. And then a few years after that, Marvel comes on the scene.
Yep.
So it in a way, like, of course, it's a cleaner game. Of course, I say cleaner, but we just finished an episode where we debated the use of WoW and you, so perhaps not so clean anymore. But it's certainly taken a lot of the same context, taken a lot of the skeleton, but changed a few things. There's now the smaller deck size. You now cycle your deck faster. Resources are done slightly differently, and a lot of it has kind of smoothed out. Lord of the Rings is still a fantastic game, and I think I'm going to say I still enjoy that one better, and it's largely theme-wise. And because I do like how you can build more than one sphere / aspect, whatever you want to call it. You can make your team as specialized or as diverse as you want, and that helps you cover a few more areas, which is especially awesome in solo play.
Right. Now, one other thing that I think about in comparing these two is having taught both games to many people, Marvel's a lot easier to teach.
Absolutely. It absolutely is.
And they're just as chunky kind of mechanically, but there's just something about Marvel that makes more sense. And I think it's because you have one hero. I think
and
it's
the phases.
About resource matching, the theme.
Like there's multiple phases in Marvel, but there's only one hero phase.
Right.
Whereas in Lord of the Rings, it's am I questing? Am I attacking?
Am I traveling?
Yeah.
I do think Lord of the Rings though has a better overall story, even with the campaign boxes in Marvel. Like the story that you get in a cycle for Lord of the Rings is probably overall better. Just because of the world it's set in.
Yeah. One thing I'll say to Daniel's point, Daniel's absolutely right about the teaching part. However, addendum to that is that if you know one of the games, it's really easy to pick up the others because a lot of the keywords are the same, even if some of the language is slightly different. Surge means surge in both games.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of the keywords and mechanics still carry over.
Well, and FFG does that a lot. Like if you have played Imperial Assault, you can pick up their role-playing game a little easier. It has similar dice mechanics. If you've played Arkham Horror, the card game, you can get Arkham Horror, the board game, or Eldritch Horror, because they're kind of
Yeah.
They're good on reusing terms and icons and symbols and stuff, thankfully. So,
well, let's move on.
I was gonna say that's a good number one. What else we got here?
I know. But what's also nice about that question is Mark speaks to the fact that really, guys, it's through LOTR that's how we became famous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or infamous.
Mark's second question: favorite scenario and modular combo, and why?
It's tough.
I answered this months ago on air.
You did.
Yeah,
You did.
Mike did.
Why don't you quickly remind us, and then what episode, so people can go back to it?
Episode I don't remember, but it would have been the Iron Spider Sinister 6 episode, I believe. Okay. Because my favorite scenario for this is Mysterio, because Mysterio has that pacing that
that's right.
It hits you right when you need it. We need to be hit. But Iron Spider Sinister 6 is one of those minion heavy sets where the minions do a lot of different funky things, but they're a little bit tougher than, say, Sinister Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Spot World.
Of course. Guys, I cannot stop when I load up an Octagon game playing solo just to try things out and stuff. I cannot stop just adding my favorite mod set, which is all the female pirates who take my cards.
Oh boy!
I just throw them in. I'll do like what it tells me to do, and then add that because I love them.
And Bonnie and Bonnie's set
and Bonnie.
Yeah.
Sorry, what is that set called?
It's Space Pirates.
Is it Space Pirates?
It's just called Space Pirates. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so they go in every scenario. I think they make everyone more interesting, more minions. They change your strategy because they're taking your stuff. But you know what else I've been playing? I played a couple of times recently with our sort of rule about it is Hela.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've been trying to play it by like the spirit of it, of not turtling and going fast. And yeah.
Okay. That's a good scenario though.
Oh,
I know Mike has his quibbles,
Mike's
but
wrong, but that's fine. He's wrong about that, but he's right about Weil, and that is more.
Oh no, we're not going there. So
right,
mine.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is a tough one for me because my favorite scenario will like change based on what I'm up to. But I'm trying to think, what have I played a lot of? So I think it might be Crossbones from the Rise of Red Skull box because it has multiple schemes.
Okay.
You can it requires you to play 3 modular sets. So you get to pick 3 modular sets. So that gives you a good chance to deck build for the villain, see the different combinations. Which also makes me think, well, maybe Hood is my favorite one because that one lets me really go all out with crazy amounts. But I think I'll go with Crossbones with any 3 modular sets. So I'm going to cop out on that and just say whatever the modular sets of the day are. Because you get to see them, right? Whatever it is we might be talking about or we're doing the most recent stuff because you get to combo them off. So
right. Excellent. And our final question. This one shouldn't take too long because the answers are obvious. Out of the 3 hosts, which one is truly a villain, which is an elite minion at best, and which one would be cannon fodder for Rocket's relentless assault?
Yeah. Well I believe.
Really?
I believe in my origin story, I referred to myself as a minion from the Rhino set.
I was going to say Mike is the cannon fodder. Right, he's not a villain. He's too nice. So,
well, I think Canadians can be elite minions at best. Yeah, like that's as much as they can rise.
I mean, maybe I got an upgrade after that bombshell trick I played on you.
Yeah. That's why I think I'm cannon fodder. I think you can do terrible things like that to me, and I'll still come back, and yeah, whatever.
See, and the fact that this is a fight for last place, I think says it all.
I mean, we all know I'm the true villain, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Absolutely. I'm glad you understand the hierarchy, at least at the top of things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys find out who's the elite minion and who's the cannon fodder. So, I'd like to know what our listeners think. So when Mike tells you how to send in, emails, include that in the list, right? How would you rank us? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've got it. Mustafa's the elite minion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the true He's the
Tribute to true
mastermind.
villain.
Yeah, he might be the true villain. Yeah.
And then Mark signs off. Yours in villainy, Mark from Australia.
Thanks for the
I
questions,
was going to try
Mark.
to say that in an Australian accent, but as the man of 1,000 accents, there's something about the Australian one I cannot get right. And I've
Thank you for
never
not doing
wanted
that.
it. Yeah.
So it's a man of 999 accents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Huh.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Awesome question. Glad we finally got around to it. That's why Steve's a true villain. He just buried this thing for 9 months.
Yeah, I lost track of it somewhere. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's great, Steve and Mike. We love questions from the listeners. Thank them. Keep them coming. But what are we doing tonight, Steve? What are we really here for?
I don't know. What are we doing? Is it your turn, Mike? Like,
I thought it was.
No, I did Sabretooth. I'm good.
Oh, so Daniel must be up for something.
I have this terrible feeling it was up to me.
Yeah.
No,
did you
didn't
do
I
anything?
do Mystique?
Well, it can't be my turn. Is it my turn?
Well,
I don't. Well,
we're not like all caught up on content, are we?
No, we're definitely not. I didn't do anything either. So it looks like the three of us, no one brought anything prepared.
Well, you did get the new big screen TV, Steve.
Why don't we just watch some MTV?
Do you mean Mojo Television?
I sure do.
Awesome!
Inside.
For clothes that Tristan lost. Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener. Spray. Relief.
You two take care of labor.
Only intended for a plane capsule.
You don't want to die of cold. Toll free.
I'll give you trouble. Pop your piece around the track if you get nails and more nails.
After the honeymoon, but when I got back and I found out that he'd stolen Ben. Lies have gotten all of us into so much trouble.
In the Marvel Champions justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups. The villains, who instigate the crime, and the heroes, who prosecute the offenders.
None of which
These are their stories.
My goodness, it looks like someone's been breaking and taking things from the Diamond Exchange.
It sure does, Daniel. We're going to need to investigate the crime scene. Mike, who got here suspiciously fast? What's happened here?
Well, looks like a massive creature stampeded through the storefront and took all the diamonds.
What's he talking about, Steve? A massive creature?
Hell if I know what he's talking about. Wait, look there, Daniel. What's that thing stuck in the wall?
It's some sort of ivory horn. Well, you think the criminal was in the Philharmonic?
Doubt it. And it seems likely the musical taste of our perp is irrelevant, Daniel. What's next, Mike?
Let's see here. Well, we got to build this case. Clue number 1 is that ivory horn you found. Look here. Do you see any patterns in this broken window glass?
I don't. How about you, Steve?
No. I thought tracking the perp through broken glass would be easier, but it's a real pain.
No, look here. These are massive rhino hoof prints walking on the broken glass.
Just like I'm walking on broken glass, walking on broken glass, walking on broken glass.
And here is clue number 3. This conveniently placed, crumpled up bad credit score report.
A credit report? What's that have to do with it?
It's elementary, my dear Daniel. Rhinos are notorious for having bad credit from constantly barging.
Well, then, we had to be on the lookout for a Russian male with a deep-seated hatred of spiders who may have access to a rhino suit.
Closing arguments for the prosecution.
Your Honor, we all know the defendant, Alexei Sistevich, robbed the Diamond Exchange that night in order to attempt to frantically make some quick money to cover his debts with the Hellfire Club after a recent scheme of his failed. Need I remind this court, he had in fact been attempting a scheme to murder his wife, Margot, after hearing about her affair with Herman Schultz. He had come up with a perfect plan to blackmail an old acquaintance, Bill Baker, to carry out the murder. But the carefully orchestrated setup went awry, and Margot, thankfully, is still alive. With the insurance money lost and the scheme in shambles, he did the only thing he knew how. He broke into the diamond exchange, and he took the diamonds from the exchange. Arrest my case.
Mr. Murdoch, closing statements for the defense.
Hey, man. Even I can see he's guilty. The defense rests.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you heard was true. Only names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Well, that was all right. I don't know. I like the writing better in season 1, guys.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
the acting was good. That one guy with the New York accent was stellar.
yeah, you know what that reminds me of, though?
What?
That reminds me of a Mojo set.
Crime?
Yeah. Should we talk about that, I guess?
I knew there was something about that made me think of something else.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, you caught me monologuing.
All right, well, hey, let's take a moment. Let's look at the Mojo scenario pack. 6 total cards, 6 by title, randomly used in all the scenarios that come in the Mojo pack.
And you can use them anywhere you want.
That's true. True.
Okay, so who starts?
Well, not
Steve,
you, Mike.
Steve. I think you should start.
All right, I'll start. We're going to look at the environment card called Dial M for Mojo. So it has the setting and the show trait. Each other encounter card gains Insight 1. Each friendly character gets +1 thwart. When revealed, discard each other setting environment in play. If this card was revealed from the encounter deck, it gains Surge with 1 boost icon.
You should totally play this in Magneto.
Oof.
With 4 players. Yeah, that Insight 1 is can be a thing.
Yeah.
But if it's not a thing, then you clear it, right?
Yeah, well, so this is like out of the Mojo genre sets, they all have like an environment that kind of sets the tone for the show, say. And this is the threat one, right? Here's an Insight 1 on every other encounter card, but everybody gets to thwart a little easier. And some scenarios, maybe it'll start in play. Other ones, you have to draw it, right? And then it can get replaced, that sort of thing. So,
right.
Why don't we look at the next card then?
Oh, yes. Build the case. This is an obligation. It has an acceleration icon. Wow.
Nice.
Make one mistake in 2016. Forced response. After a side scheme is defeated, place 1 clue counter here. Then if there are at least 3 clue counters here, discard this card. And it has a single boost icon. I have never had this come out. I think I've always had this as a boost.
We played Mojo. Did we play Crime?
I don't know.
Yes, we did. We did for sure when we played.
It might have been the game.
Spiral.
Eventually, you get through all of them.
Spiral.
Yeah, you do the campaign, you eventually make it through all of them.
Yeah.
So it's an acceleration, which is more threat. So we're seeing what the crime set is doing. Seems like it's threat. And you got to get rid of it by thwarting schemes, side schemes. So that's kind of cool.
So one way or another is actually a good thing.
Or all the new player side schemes. Yeah.
Oh, that counts?
It just says side scheme. It doesn't say encounter side scheme.
Side scheme.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like that's going to be clarified in FAQ at some point.
I don't think so, because I think it was kind of clarified already by someone somewhere that they're all side schemes.
You're still
because cable goes off no matter what on certain things.
Yeah. And I mean, you're still spending your time dealing with that player side scheme instead of dealing with the main.
Yeah, but it's not building the case. It's like, let me build the case. I'm going to go home and grab my magnifying glass. Sweet, clue 1. No.
Clearly, it's planted evidence. So.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I the murdered. You got me.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, watch out for those murders on this one.
So I like this because, you draw it. It goes in front of you, but everyone can deal with it. Or it's sort of a global thing, right?
Yep.
It's like a card in front of you that actually acts like an environment, correct?
Yeah, kind of.
in a sense, right? Well, that's cool. I'm thinking an obligation like this might necessitate that this modular set might have a side scheme or two.
Oh, good,
Oh.
good call.
Only
What do you
only
think?
if there's hero bias.
Oh, well, true. Well, let me tell you one of them, guys. Crime scene investigation is a side scheme. It seems the victim's luck ran out. I guess you could say he lost his mojo. All right, so anyway, crime scene investigation comes out with 5 threat, has hinder 1 per player. Threat cannot be removed from other schemes.
Oof.
Ooh, even your
Schemes,
own.
gentlemen,
Okay.
not other side schemes.
Right.
Schemes. Now, as a hero action, however, you can spend X nerd resources to remove X threat from this scheme. Well, that makes sense. That's themey. I like that. And it has 2 boost icons. All right.
Pretty good.
Now, you can still, of course, thwart normally, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
You can thwart normally, but you can also take this hero action.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good theme. I think that's neat. I like how it's basically a crisis for everything.
Yeah. Good Lord.
And it doesn't say, like, it prevents all threat removal, too. Sometimes it's like patrol means you can't thwart it, but you can still remove threat in a different way. No, this is just no threat anywhere. So,
Right.
Yep.
Shuts down those cheating yellow decks.
Well, there's one side scheme, so there's got to be a second side scheme, right?
I should hope so.
Okay. This one is Law and Order. I hold both of me in contempt. Judge Mojo.
That picture is so disturbing.
I love it.
Hinder 1 per player. Each friendly character gets -2 attack.
Oh.
It has a hero action, spend X energy resources, remove X threat from the scheme. Has a 5 base and 3 boost icons.
Now,
Not sure what the energy's doing there.
nor do I understand how this is law and order. It would make sense if each character got -2 attack, but it seems like the villains get to beat up on us just fine.
It's each friendly character gets -2. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's not really law and order. It's more
What?
more heroes.
No. It's Mojo's court.
Yeah.
Okay.
The police still get to have their stun guns and stuff in Mojo's court. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, okay, so you're not. It does make it harder for the heroes to hit us, so that's nice. That's nice.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, like Mike said, like what the energy resources, like how this theme works. I don't know.
I think I used one of each,
But I
so
have
I
a
guess this one's
feeling-
here.
I have a feeling I know what the next one might be.
Oh, good call.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
let's find
indeed.
out. Let's find out, Mike.
The next one is Dragnet. I was never here. Boss mode. This also has, guess what, guys? 5 threat and hinder 1 per
next one you're
player.
trying to tell me it has hinder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
1 per player. This time the villain cannot take damage.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So same thing like with the whole threat thing. No, it's not can't be attacked. It's cannot take damage. Hero action. Spend X fist resources to remove X threat from this scheme, and it has 2 boost icons.
Now he can't take damage because he's hiding in a garbage can.
Why do you live in a trash can?
Well, the rents are cheap, and I love trash.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is it a garbage can? Is it a sewer?
Or
I
is
thought
it
it
a
was a
manhole
sewer.
cover?
It could be
Well,
a manhole cover.
No, it can't be a manhole because there's the other ridge on the bottom.
Clearly, it's a barrel of toxic waste because
Mm,
Oh, it
Look
is
at the guy.
smoking, fuming or something. Right?
yeah.
There's some green smoke coming.
So Dragnet's a real old TV show that I never watched, but Daniel, you probably watched it. What does this make?
Wow.
Thank you
Wow.
for that. Or,
Way to have your bill. Way to have your bill moment.
thank you. Yep.
hey, you had
Um,
one earlier. You were due.
What did I say? All right. This is fine. I like it.
Yeah.
Why does the one have 3 boost icons and the other 2?
Hey!
I don't know.
Order! Do not contradict the judge.
Oh.
It has 3 boost icons.
That's all you need to know.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, what?
It's elementary, my dear Daniel.
Oh, okay. when revealed. Elementary, my dear Mojo. When revealed, choose one. Move all threat from a side scheme to the main scheme. That side scheme is defeated. Oh. Or discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a side scheme is discarded. Reveal that card. Huh.
Yeah.
No boost icons.
How many boost icons?
Yeah, none. That's the rough part.
Dear bro. Not only that is it's kind of useful for the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
unless that side scheme has 6 threat on it and it's a solo game and you got to move 6 threat over.
Well, yeah, but then you're doing the other one.
Yeah, which will get you to one of these 3, could get you one of these 3.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't get to choose. You have to discard until you get it. So you could deck out.
Yep.
And it is revealed. So you get all the best parts of the side scheme you put out. So, fetches one of these side schemes or pushes threat over. So, which is what this set's doing. So
Sure.
Now, keep in mind, every single one of these should also say Insight 1 if the environment is out, making them just a little better.
That is true. That's true.
This is the first of the Mojo, modulars we're going to look at. What do we think of the first, what do we think of it?
I'm going to give it 2 stars.
Okay. Out of how many?
Like that new rating out of 5, right?
Oh, out of 5, I was going to say 10.
Wow.
What's the Nielsen rating scale for these?
Yeah.
So
I don't even know. Okay, yeah, I do like the villain cannot take damage. This schemes cannot have any threat removed. That is fantastic. Elementary, my dear Mojo, is weak sauce. No, it's a cute one. It's not particularly tough, but it does make the game more interesting. Gives you more things you have to thwart. I don't know. I feel like your enjoyment of this set is going to depend strongly on what kind of deck you're bringing. Your Hulk entire fist deck is not going to work very well. Your Justice one way or another deck with all the jazzy stuff about side schemes, you're going to have a blast. Just a blast with this one.
Now, Mike, at the beginning of this, you talked about how you can throw these things anywhere you want. Would you ever play this one outside of Mojo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I do that. People who've watched my videos, you'll normally see me not just pick. I'll very rarely just pick this out of nowhere and throw it in something. But I may do something like, hey, let's do Mojo Television in Rise of Red Skull or something like that. Oh my gosh, Red Skull with this set would be interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff you can do here.
Yeah.
So I would do it put a different television show in every scenario on the campaign, things like that.
Yeah, and I don't think just because it came in the Mojo pack, I don't think it's only any good in the Mojo pack.
No. You definitely get some fun interactions.
Yeah. Now, all by itself, maybe not. Maybe something where you get a couple, just to kind of beef it up a little bit. But still, if you're not ready to thwart, or you don't have the right resources, it could be a pain.
Yeah, and keep in mind that there's no minions in this set.
Right.
So if you're playing a scenario that has very few minions already, and no other sets that you're just, I don't know, may not have a good time. Yeah, it has to be balanced out a bit. Throw it in Green Goblin or throw it in Drang. I still like Red Skull. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because you're going to shuffle 3 of these side schemes right in. And
yeah, you're diluting that deck. Yeah.
At the Elementary, my dear Mojo, you're going to basically have to choose the first one, or you're going to discard and deck out.
Yeah.
Because there's no side schemes yet, in the main deck there. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, and then out of this whole set, you're putting 3 cards in the encounter deck. One of them is going to get pulled out forever because it's an environment.
Yep. Oh, that sounds fun.
So it really shrinks the deck a lot. Yeah, this would be good.
All right. We normally give it a real rating. What do we think? Should we do that, or are we okay?
I don't
know. I'm going to say 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
I like Mike doing the stars.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Mike on the 2, but for a slightly different reason. I'm never a fan of these sets that just sort of are as formulaic as this. You know what I mean? We got the 3 side schemes. One does the fist, one's I don't know. Yeah.
But 5 out of 5 for the funny names and art.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, is this one fun to flip through?
Yeah. There's something kind of disturbing about Mojo.
Yeah, always.
Always.
And this is all commissioned art. Everything has art credit on it, right? Kudos to FFG. Yeah.
I want a playmat of that Law and Order.
It's so gross. It's just like, yeah. Oh Lord. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I think at the end of all of these, maybe we should kind of rank our favorites.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yep.
Because I have a feeling that this one won't be on the top of my list.
All right. Well, Mike.
Hey folks, are you as psyched for season 2 as we are? Email us your thoughts at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We are Critical Encounters on Facebook, and you can find our YouTube channel or Patreon by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Fardane, Big Foam Loaf, and Wandering 2. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Mojo, take us out.
I told you not to touch that dial.
Verdict's already in. The verdict is in, Frank. But the jury is out.